All right, everybody, welcome to the Comic Wrestling Podcast. This is the Wrestling Ring. I'm Deadly Dave.
I'm the wild card Ace Williams.
He's all fired up already.
I'm always like this at the top of the show, and by the end of it, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to just get hit by a car.
Today we're going to do All Out because, you know, we have Le Champion
Like,
here. We have, whoa. You don't have to be that wild. Come on.
You said All Out. I missed the context.
Context is king.
Context is king. You're talking about Bischoff. That's weird.
Oh, gotta get the belt. Yep.
Carry on my wayward son.
All right. So, do you want to watch the whole thing, or do you want to kind of...
How long is she?
It
4
is
hours?
almost 4 hours.
I do not have that time. I have at most about 2.
I would want to skip Jurassic Express against the Young Bucks.
I'm okay with that. I would like to see the Jericho match.
Okay.
I would like to see...
Do you care about Dark Order, the 8-man with the Dark Order?
Yeah! What is that, actually?
Dark Order against Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, and the American Nightmares. Okay.
I would like to see the all-out battle royale.
Okay, so...
The all-out battle royale! Also, actually, yeah, continue on.
So, we'll take out Jurassic Express and the Young Bucks.
Is there a battle royal, or was I wrong on
Yep.
that?
So, we'll do the Battle Royal. Britt Baker and Big Swole, kind of...
Let's watch it tooth and nail, baby!
All right.
I know that one. I don't know that one. We don't know the results other than, like, the Matt Hardy thing.
Cheetah against Thunder Rosa. For the
Cheetah?
women's. It'd be funny if it was Cheetah.
Cheetah? You know, a cheetah would never sleep around on its wife, but a tiger would.
Dad jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo!
Dad jokes.
That's yours, ladies and gentlemen. That's yours.
So do you want to get rid of that one? Cheetah against Thunder Rosa?
I don't even know who Thunder Rosa is.
She's like a Mexican.
Isn't that a restaurant we used to have up here?
That's Ponderosa.
My bad! My bad!
They had good chicken wings, though.
They had the best. Let's get rid of that one.
All
You know
right.
who wins it?
Yes.
Who wins it?
Cheetah.
Who? Who?
Hikaru Shida.
My bad! My bad!
Okay, so
Cheetah.
obviously Hardy versus Sammy.
I don't really care about the match itself other than some of the
bump.
events.
Then Omega and Paige against FTR.
I will watch that.
Okay.
We know the results of that, but I want to watch that.
Moxley and MJF. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That should cut down to like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at Le Champion. You have the coolest shirt. I wish I had a Jericho shirt on right now. I have an old one. It's a WWE one. But I won't do that.
Alright, we'll get it started.
While we're into this right now, though, I just want to get... Because we are watching All Out, and people that can't read it, it says in small letters, Matt Hardy's brains, or Matt's brains are all out on the floor.
His wife got pissed. Rebby
Well, I
Sky.
would too, man,
Yeah.
because it was reckless, but...
I think she was more about the him continuing the match.
Well, right.
Yeah, I can totally understand that.
I mean, it was all pointless. The match really was pointless when you look at it as a whole and you break it down. But before we get too far into this, I've mentioned his channel on our podcast before. It's 3C Films. It's on YouTube, and I think he has a Twitter account. It's at 3C Films. His name is Chris. I don't know him. He doesn't know me. But we've exchanged a couple of little conversations of maybe possibly doing an interview. That would be cool. I'm going to keep pressing it because I think that would be really cool. He has 200,000 followers. We don't have anywhere near that. That's kind of the goal of this, but it's not the end goal of this. I think this would just be fun to do.
Yeah.
Because I suggest you check out his channel. A lot of the stuff is cool. He does a lot of movie reviews. Talks about like what's coming up in movies, like behind the scenes stuff. Very cool stuff. Really loves his horror movies, especially. But this is like just his little shout out. We'll plug your show on our show. He's on YouTube, and I'm gonna keep pressing it.
I like it.
Because it's cool.
Big
So-
Swole is in Britt Baker's dentist office, and for some reason, Britt Baker is wearing her gear in her dentist office. But
Why does this have to be a theatrical match like this?
I don't know. I'm thinking because Britt Baker isn't totally healed from whatever injury she had.
Fair enough.
Ring the bell.
Come on, Mike Posey. Right? That's what that is?
Yep. So what are your thoughts on Big Swole?
That was me getting my hair out my way like her she does. I would like her if she wasn't annoying.
Yeah.
If she didn't try to be the badass, loudmouth black chick badass, and I'm not saying that's like a thing against who, like her color of her skin, so don't jump on that bandwagon. I'm just saying it's a stereotype she's trying to kind of play maybe a little bit in her character.
It feels real forced the way she,
Yeah.
Because like I've heard the podcast they did with her, and she didn't like talk like that at all. It's kind of like Eddie Guerrero, like the way when he did his accent and stuff.
Which we get.
Yeah.
But without, personally me, you're asking me, so I'm only saying this out of my point of view. Without me knowing you, and this is your first time like having the big TV screen deal, play into it a little bit less or more. I don't know which the right word I'm trying to use, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I feel like I have to like this.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to like it. I mean, I do because I think she's pretty goddamn talented. She's got a cool look. I've always enjoyed a black female wrestler. My favorite's Jazz.
Right. I was always partial to Jackie more.
Jackie was great
Yeah.
too. I mean, so like that's definitely not nothing going against her. It feels forced.
Yeah. And it was, and you've got Britt Baker who was pretty much destroying her on the mic too, so it didn't help matters at all.
Yeah, Britt's really been the only one that's been given the time to really talk on the women's division. So she really, even if she wasn't the best on the mic, she's got the most experience on the TV to where people are going to want to listen to her.
Yep. And she's getting good heat too with the way she acts and stuff, and the interactions with Tony Schiavone and shit. So
I like that. I'm so cool. But I also want to. Actually, you know what? Dave, the deadly one that he is we talk about movies on the comic shop. We talk about wrestling movies on the wrestling ring. This was the Windy City.
Windy City.
You got it.
Windy City Classics 15.
Yep, there you go. You want to talk about it a little bit? Because I already embarrassed myself.
Well, that actually has some AEW stars. You got Eddie Kingston.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't call him a star in AEW, but I get what you're saying.
Chris Statlander.
Oh, I like
is
her.
on here.
What happened to her? She's still in the company?
She was injured. But Sammy Callahan's on here. Of course, you mentioned Killer Cross, who's carrying Cross now.
Mm-hmm.
Ace Austin, who's in Impact right now. Colt Cabana's
Is
on
that the
here.
skinny kid?
Yeah. But
Colt Cabana, baby. You can't not love that man.
Jimmy Jacobs, who's one of the writers for TNA or Impact right now. I liked it. I thought it was good. I just want to expand what I'm watching as far as indie, promotions and stuff. So, and the quality. I mean, it's straight up Blu-ray. It's amazing quality on it. So.
Is that the guy from Impact too?
Yeah, he's in the North Tag Team. Yeah. Yep.
That's Jacob right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna definitely check it out.
I just figure something different. And,
What's the Windy City? Seattle?
No, Chicago.
Chicago.
Yep. Which makes sense why Cabana's on
I
there.
should have known, but what do I think of Chicago? I don't really think of it as the Windy City for some reason. But that's a cool. I mean, I don't know if it's cool yet, but I'll check it out and we will talk about it a little bit.
Brought it from the same company that we got the Angel of Death tournament Blu-ray from, the
Okay.
Smart Mark Video. So
I have
we also did the CTWE pay-per-view that we were at.
I have to
for
see
Comanias.
so bad. I have a Dorito up my nose. I feel it. That was fun. I wish. Is that on DVD?
No, it's only on YouTube.
So what kind of dentist office would allow this kind of nonsense? Dave?
Right. Yeah, I mean,
Well, let me tell you, Connie. Jesus Christ!
Wow, that's an actual
That's not
drill.
even a dentist tool. That's not what even a dentist would use. She is not a DDS.
Oh, it's even got the guide light so she knows where to put it.
Oh my God. Oh my Christ. Imagine she missed and they just slipped.
Right?
Or, like that?
Like that, yeah.
Crazy bitches.
And see, this is
girls don't like to be called bitches.
This is definitely something that Cornette is going to pull apart because it's the cinematic kind of stuff, but...
Well, I don't know. Well, and it's a women's match.
Yeah, it's a women's match. I love that shit when Ryan Last gets on him.
Well, I listened to the one where it was a tag team match with... What's her face and what's her face and what's her face and what's her face?
It was Rhea Ripley and...
Oh, she stuck herself... Ew!
Ew! She really did stick the needle in. Holy shit.
Oh! I don't... That's a fear of mine, dude. I really don't like needles. She really just stuck herself right in the fucking leg with a needle. I don't care if it's clean or dirty. There's nothing even in it. That's so gross.
Wow.
That feels a little far.
Yeah,
Oh. Why would you have done that, Rebel? This feels dumb.
Yeah, I mean, you could have done a regular
match and set it up like a dentist office.
Yeah, or you could even just done a regular street fight kind of match and let these girls do this and just have it like a dentist chair out there, a single dentist chair, and just kind of incorporate that. But this is, yeah.
This is almost like... I don't know. But I listened to Cornette's podcast episode on the Rhea Ripley tag match, and he wasn't impressed with any of it. I was like, really? Wow, okay. I mean, I mean,
it is funny that he fast forwards through every women's match unless Rhea Ripley's in it.
I do that with most as well. Not with Rhea Ripley, but I have my certain ones that I really like. Io Shirai, I'll always watch a match.
Yep. I always like Kairi Sane's matches, but since she's not in WWE anymore, that won't happen.
I don't like the super scrawny little Asian women wrestlers. No, I feel like I'm watching a child. I don't believe you could beat me up. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not old school to the point of, like, Cornette where it's like, I want my wrestlers, I want to know that they're going to kick my ass. But I don't want to believe that I could just go and kick your ass without getting my ass whipped, too.
Right.
Like, I like Jungle Boy. I do. I think he's really, like, he's a good cruiserweight wrestler.
Right.
The Marco Stunt thing needs to go. It needs to fucking go bad. Like, I hate Marco Stunt.
Yeah.
And that's like the rumor, like, oh, Brock Lesnar goes to AEW. Marco Stunt's his first match. And I have to say, I did not know Kenny Omega's last name was Olivier.
It's not.
It's not? Is that
No.
what just Cornette calls him?
Yeah,
really?
Because he's like acting all the time, you know.
I didn't get that joke. Yeah. I just heard him say it. I'm like, Olivier? And I just kept thinking, I'm like, huh. I'd rather use that as my last name than Omega.
Right.
I did not know that either. So, okay. Joke's on me. But, that makes sense, though, because I've never heard his reason for not liking him. I've heard him, like, talk shit about him, but never come right out and say.
Right.
There's an episode he has where he talks about how Harley Race couldn't stand Kenny Omega. And it's like a 30-minute clip, and I'm like, I don't want to sit here on my phone and listen to that whole thing. So maybe he says it in there, but I've never heard him admit to why or whatever. The Casino Battle Royale.
Wrestlers have selected a card from a special deck. The suit of card they selected determines their group. Every 3 minutes, they shuffle the deck to see which suit comes out. I'm sure they've done this before, but
they've only had 2 of these.
Oh, the best friends! There was one of the Jim Cornette ones I listened to. He talked about how JR is more concerned with pitching to pitcher and pitcher and making it sound like a joke than he is actually commentating. And that really is true.
It is when you go back and look at it.
Like, JR is not into this company whatsoever.
I wouldn't say that. I would not say that. He's just...
More I watch it, I don't think he's as invested as he should be.
I wouldn't, because when I hear him talk about the company, he never sounds like he's bored of it. I think we as fans have come to know JR as the WWE JR.
Yeah.
Like, and I have to defend it because, like, JR's my boy. I'm gonna channel him. He's my boy. Ooh,
Jake Hager.
Ooh, he's scary. So scary.
It always looks like he's wearing just a pair of fucking.
He doesn't look
briefs, though.
professional one
No.
bit. I mean, he does. But no, you're right. He looks like he's wearing Under Armour underwear.
Yeah, I could see MMA shorts, but
Come
not,
out in a
not that.
singlet.
Yeah,
Come out in
yeah.
a singlet, please.
I mean, I get that you're an MMA fighter, but you don't need to. You know,
You're not wearing gloves.
Right.
But what were you just? We'll go back to what
Talking about JR.
Oh yeah. I think it's just the expression of freedom he has, to where I don't have to just stick to what is this. And again, I've even said this before, and this is my own opinion. He has a weird sense of humor.
Right.
And in a company like this, to me, where it's young, it's a younger demographic, I want to just put myself in his shoes and think, I got to try to stay not relevant, but hip or something.
Yeah.
So, and again, that ability to be free, to have not someone in your ear saying shit.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong. I'm not even trying to say, Dave, you're wrong. That's just my opinion on it. Because I do hear the nitpicking that you can, or not, but the negative, but I've never heard outside of the company, his attitude has never been,
Yeah.
at least not in an interview I've heard. If
Yeah.
someone could present something to show, well, look, he did express this or that or this. Okay. Now there's something I can think about.
Okay.
But I definitely understand he does have, and if it is that freedom of expression, he doesn't stay on track.
Yeah.
He doesn't stay on track as well as I'm used to him being.
Yeah.
He doesn't stay on track that well. But I think that's why it's kind of good to have Shivani there.
Yeah.
Because he seems like WCW Shivani, not as excited, but very.
He's totally into the product.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
really wants.
And I think
you know,
with JR and him being such good friends, and then JR being able to talk how he wants, and then having Shivani there to maybe reel him back in.
Yeah.
I think that's a good combo, and that's why I think they need to get rid of Excalibur, because he doesn't complement either one of them.
Yeah.
He does a good job, but he does not complement Shivani or JR.
Yeah.
I think Jericho's great with them. I think Jericho's the best commentator.
Yeah.
I think Taz is fantastic with them, except for when he flip-flops between, when my boys are out there, I'm like intense heel. But then when it's just Taz, I'm like DNA Taz. I'm just, hey, how you doing? Like, it's got to be one or the other.
Yeah.
But he's good.
Jericho, I see a lot of people like bitching about Jericho, you know, being goofy and shit. Like, as if he was never goofy to begin with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, he's always been the smart ass.
Even like and you can see different variations of that, though, throughout his career. Like, sure, in like 2009, he's coming out now in the suit. And he's doing like the Armageddon promo where he's going to press the button, you know, Armageddon's coming. And he's now like just more business than anything.
Yeah.
But he's always been like the no, like over the top
Yeah.
crybaby.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but we're going to defend Jericho because he's Le Champion.
He is.
He's the only guy that keeps making appearances, apparently, on Dave's shirt and on our desk.
So we got Chris Daniels, Jake Hager, is it the Blade, Phoenix, and Trent in the ring right now. And the next suit is going to be coming out.
I'm going to go Pentagon.
Oh, SCU! So
I
this will
haven't
be
been paying attention to this.
This will be Frankie. The Scorpio Skies in the 8-man tag.
Why is it that you think, like Pentagon? Oh, who's this?
Was that Will Hobbs, I think, maybe?
Are they all coming at once?
Yeah, because they did the one suit, so the guys that drew that suit.
I thought I didn't. Well, I didn't see the last paragraph that
Right.
they had.
I do love when
Oh shit!
when Cornette calls Chuck Taylor "fuck Taylor."
Yeah.
You know, says he looks, you know, just because he looks like just a regular dude. I'm like, I'm
Oh.
sorry. It's funny. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Some stuff I disagree with him on, but there are things I do really agree with him on.
There is almost.
Yep, Will Hobbs. Yep.
Oh yeah, down the corner. I didn't even see that. I am almost never in disagreement with him. Almost never. Some things I'll water down his his tone towards it,
Right.
but in the same breath, I'm like, I feel the same way.
Right.
I do feel the same way. I'm not expressing it like that.
Like, I love this product, but, like, I hate all the fucking suicide dives and the double foot stomps. And, you know, a lot of the shit is really repetitious, you know. So, that I don't like, but overall, I love this product. So. Like, I'm excited to watch these. I'm not excited to watch the WWE ones.
Right. No, right. I totally agree. That Will Hobbs guy looks good.
Yeah. Did you see that, well, I mean, it's WWE, that Cedric Alexander joins the
I did
joined
see
the
that.
Hurt
I watched a
Business?
video. Didn't I watch a video? Did I? I saw that, though. The Hurt Business.
I mean, if they actually do factions to go against them, but it's kind of, unless they're going to dominate the brand, you know, but.
No, I'm sorry, but I'm not a racist one bit. But people can say, okay, well, that's the Hurt Business, but it's nothing but black guys.
Right.
So I'm sorry, but they're going to have to get a white guy in there. It's going to start. Someone's going to start to be like, well, look, if we had an all-white group without a black guy in it for some reason, you guys would probably throw a fit. Yeah. I'm just saying, that's the world we live in. That's how people think.
Yeah.
So it's not wrong for me to think that way. I don't believe that. That's the difference. Thinking and believing are two different things. Don't get those twisted.
I mean, the Nation of Domination started out with Farouk, Crush, and Savio Vega, and then it went to all black guys.
And it had like the two, wasn't it?
PG-13,
like, yeah,
the guys from Memphis. Yep.
So there you go, man. And then it became like a racist group almost. Legit, they were.
See, I like this concept for a battle royal. They're not all in the ring at once. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah! It is Billy Gunn, though! This is where we're going to do the Sunday Chop probably at some point. No, I think this is a cool concept, too. I think it's strange, though, that Ortiz and Santana came in the same suit, though.
Right.
No,
he just did it. That's fucking great.
There he is.
Penta.
Why do you think they have not been using Pentagon as a main eventer?
I don't know, man. I just think they see him just as the tag guy, you know, with his brother.
Huh.
And I think they're concentrating on other guys that they want to push.
I don't like Starks.
You know, yeah.
I think he's got a stupid shaped head, and I think he's got a face that only a mother would love. I hate him.
Oh, Billy Gunn!
Oh, Flex Armstrong! It's kind of cool to know we saw him at a show. Right? We saw him at Big Time Wrestling.
Did we see Cage yet?
Yeah. He was like the world champion. I swear to God!
That's not the same guy.
Are you sure his name was Flex Armstrong? That's the only
it's
way I know him.
It's not the same guy.
Then how do I know him as Flex Armstrong? I don't know. He wasn't that in TNA.
I don't know. But
I would not know him in any other thing. I would put money on it that he was their champion. Because I don't know him as any other thing. I have no idea who he is.
Got a lot of tag teams in there too.
And that seems to be a problem, though. You got that many tag teams in how many tag team matches?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, is this a tag team battle royal? No. Is it? No.
No. It's one winner. It's for a shot at the world title.
Well, who's going to win?
Oh, man. It's not going to be Hager, that's for sure. I could see them going with Darby Allin.
I don't even realize he was in
That's what you know what I mean?
I fucking hate this kid.
If they don't go with him, I could see Ricky Starks throwing him out because they've been having them feud. So
I'm gonna go with Flex Armstrong.
Flex Armstrong.
Oh, maybe I don't say that. I thought it was.
I mean, they do look very similar.
Not in
they
that
do.
picture. He's way too big in that picture. But they do have similar looks.
Maybe if Brian Cage made it with
I
Ken
thought it was the
Shamrock.
same guy. I did. That's why I was calling
It's a
him.
good nickname for him, though.
I'm gonna call him that. I'm gonna keep calling him that. We're gonna get the real Flex Armstrong over. Who's this? Oh my God! It's goddamn.
Oh, it's Sean Spears.
I didn't know who it was, honestly.
I thought it was Cody's logo for a second because they're very similar.
I did so. He might win it. He's good.
Yeah. They are kind of, they like to do things that are unexpected where they like to have challengers for the world title that you wouldn't really, pick, so. Same with, the Young Bucks. Like, the Young Bucks, most people would think that they would have been world tag team champions by now.
I think they know better not to. I don't want to say it like that now, but at that point.
I think that's why they haven't done it with Omega for the world title. Because people would shit all over it, I could see Eddie Kingston winning it. I could.
Oh, is he with those guys?
Yeah, they're kind of doing a group with him and Penta and Phoenix.
So
and
Kingston's
Butcher and
actually
Blade.
signed on with them then?
Yeah. He's doing the talking for him, so.
No, I mean, he's signed on with AEW?
Yeah. Yep, yeah, he's a full-timer now, so. What a sunny kiss.
I'm going to make comments. I'll leave JR to it.
JR calling her and her.
I don't know what shit is. It's just shit.
Now, if Archer won it.
Oh, that was sweet! He did a big old dive right over the top rope to them. But yeah, if Archer won it. Look at Robert. Come on. No other wrestling company in this world, in our country, I won't say Japan because I don't know the shit, I don't know. But in our country, no other.
See, that's bullshit. Sunny Kiss eliminating Jake Hager is bullshit.
That is lame. I mean, that's not you not building a star. That's just. Oh, good. Flex Armstrong.
Way to go, Flex. Round of applause for Flex Armstrong.
But no other wrestling company is using legends better.
Right. Like, I like Tully with FTR.
Uh-huh.
Like, FTR can talk, but letting Tully talk for him, too, is really good.
I mean, look, you got Tully right there.
Yep.
You got Jake Roberts at the bottom.
And Jake's just sitting there like the fucking devil sitting on a stump, just watching
waiting.
shit go, watching shit go bad,
What was that, Santana?
Yep. I'm not into Ortiz. I kind of like them as a team, but...
Ortiz reminds me of Cheech Marin during, Cheech and Chong when he's, all fucked up and high.
Right.
And he's, making goofy faces and dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun
it's too much.
Yeah, he's cartoony.
Yep. Especially when you should be portraying yourselves as a badass team and you beat up Trent Smolder's car and shit like that, and then he does the goofy fucking back scratch.
But that's what Cornette talks about, this indie stupid shit
Yeah.
that is to a certain demographic.
No, I do agree with him on a lot of stuff. I do.
Who's this?
Who?
SSP?
I'm sure they'll play it, but Matt Sydal.
Come on. Give Cornette another reason to say what? These guys are little!
Yep.
They got nothing but small midgets. Little midgets jumping off the top rope. Midgets!
And I have to... Oh, and he just completely fucked up. He went for the fucking airborne and just completely landed on his fucking head. Why don't you give people any more fucking ammunition to
I'm
hate
already
this
making
shit?
fun of the fact that he's little.
Right. And then he fucks up the first move that he's going to do into the ring.
Jake Roberts, what's going on with your hair?
Jake's looking like a piece of shit. I'm sorry. He looks like...
You are a stone-cold son of a bitch.
He just looks... I'm sorry. He just looks like he just fucking... A dude that walked in out of the street and just...
Dave, the man was raped or something. I think. His family is...
He does need to just shave his head. Because that looks fucking horrible.
He was looking good for a while until he started putting weight on again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think he's getting too comfortable. At this... No!
Oh, Pentagon eliminated.
Come on, I hate this fucking company. At this point, if I had to work with Sydal in this match, if I was Austin Spears or whatever the fuck his name was, Randy Shawn. What was his name? All of that?
Ricky Starks.
No!
Oh, Sean Spears. Sean Spears. All right.
Yeah, I would in this match right now, or whoever's working with him right at this second, I'd be like, I'm not selling anything.
I'd be throwing live rounds.
Especially if I was the big dude there, Blade
Right.
or Butcher, whatever, Butcher. I'd be like, no, you knocked yourself out. You should have played the game that you knocked yourself out in your first fucking move.
Right.
The fact that you want me to sell you like an enziguri or any of that, ridiculous. No, I don't care if it's a business and it's a brotherhood. You didn't protect yourself, so now you're not gonna hurt me.
Right. This is when Darby Allin does stupid shit. He hits it. You know.
Right. Like I want to see that replay, but they're not gonna show it.
No.
Now, what are your thoughts on Kingston? I've never really seen him. I've only seen a couple.
I've seen some of his indie stuff. I liked him in TNA when he was like the leader of LAX. He's a really good talker. I haven't really seen enough of his matches to, gauge his work, but he does a lot of like hardcore stuff, But I think he's a good veteran that they can put in sparingly, into matches. And
now you say veteran. Now
I think he's been wrestling about like 16 years. So.
Now why was he never picked up anywhere?
I don't know. That's the thing is, I think it's just been when he's had the chance, they just never pulled the trigger on him. Like, I think he's just stuck to the indies, and he's had chances with like Impact, and I think he had a tryout with WWE, but I don't know what it is.
I do have to say,
maybe he's not that good of a worker. Where, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, I know what you're saying. I get it. I just asked you because you know a little bit more about.
I like, from what I've seen of him, I like him. But watching him, the way he cuts promos, it literally is like if a dude off the street, like the way Homicide cuts a promo, just that street, or New Jack, somebody like that. It's just a badass the way they cut a promo.
They put text on a body bag. I'm sorry.
Yep.
See, this is unnecessary. Something like that.
It should be in a different match other than this, because he's just gonna zip him in the body bag and throw him out of the ring onto the thumbtacks.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do like Kingston. I mean, you'll see a little bit of him in this one.
Well, I've seen some stuff, like I said, but my thing is, like, when I read all the comments, this is my problem when I'm first introduced to anything that I don't stumble upon, and there's the hype behind it.
Right.
Well, that's not. Oh, I do want to see him throw him out.
Oh, right onto the ramp.
Oh, that's stupid. It should have been like out of the ring onto the floor.
And now Ricky Starks is just going to grab him. And
you hear Taz? Yeah, let's see him.
I do like the way they introduced him with Cody, though. That cutting the promo as he's walking to the ring.
No, that's cool with me.
I
just from what I've seen in comments and shit, people are like holding him as like some high god, and all I'm thinking is like he's kind of the watered down white version of New Jack.
Yeah, I think it's because he hasn't gotten a chance. You know what I mean?
My appeal to him is I'll use the acronyms of ECW. He's that style in a world that doesn't exist in anymore, which is appealing.
Right.
That's the appeal. And if that's what people like about him, then absolutely. He's that raw, uncut kind of feel.
I think he's the kind of guy they need right now.
Yeah, you need someone like that.
Because, like Cornette says, you have too many of the flippy guys that are doing all that shit. You need grounded guys that, See, double fucking foot stomp.
To Spears.
Yep.
Look at that. I would not have sold that to him. No way. Look at this little fuck. All because of TNA, what made him world champion.
Yep. I mean, he was nothing in Ring of Honor.
Mass Idol, you were literally...
Oh, that's a good spine
See,
buster.
now, big boy like that, laying a spine buster down on a little boy like that, oh, here we go.
Hobbs has been getting more airtime. I know
here we go.
Mainly on Dark, but I think they're going to do something with him because we've talked about before, but they need bigger guys.
Yeah, they do.
To
and he's a big black guy. He's perfect combo.
Right.
He's got a good build.
Oh, the pounce! That Archer's money. That motherfucker is money.
Oh, yeah, more big guys.
And they're the big guys they have are guys that can actually work. They're not just plotters that,
I agree.
Well, I forgot. I didn't even realize that Taz was on commentary.
I only noticed it when Spears went over to the table.
I will put this on a flash drive for you. I didn't get a chance to do it, so you can watch the whole thing, over. But I mean, I'm gonna be seeing you Sunday. So I mean, this has been a good battle royal.
I've enjoyed this battle royal.
Other than Seidel being a fucking fart in church. Yeah, Cage is athletic as fuck.
Yeah,
for a dude that's that built.
I've seen some of his TNA stuff.
He was amazing in Lucha Underground. I loved his Lucha Underground stuff.
There you go.
Yep. I mean,
you don't go for that. You don't go for that kind of spot, man. You're a heel.
I know, to be that jacked to be able to do what he does is
right, because he's built like an actual roided out dude.
Yeah.
Like he's not built like an athletically built dude. So
Archer!
Nice.
Double drop kick eliminating Hobbs and Brian Cage.
So to know he's not that stiff,
right,
being that puffy.
If they go with
like
Seidel,
Steiner,
right.
Steiner literally, when he gave a clothesline, it looked like he couldn't even bend his arm. Like the clothesline had to be stiff.
Yep.
So there you go. If Seidel wins this, dude, fuck that. Because one of these three guys should win it.
Right.
I'm down for any of those three dudes right there in that ring.
I could see Kingston winning it because I could see them building a good program with Moxley and Kingston.
Ooh! I'm down for the Butcher, dude. Change his name, though.
Yeah.
Doesn't he look like he could be the brother to one of the fucking dudes from Demolition?
Yeah, he totally looks like he could be Axe's brother.
Oh!
Side down!
Come on, push him out, dude.
Jake, grab Seidel and pull him out.
Right.
Fuck him over.
Don't.
Oh,
see,
no.
That shit I never understood either. Why, if you're going for a move like that,
oh, see, fuck that up too.
We're into this, folks. This is why we love AEW, because we are actually into this.
Yeah. I love this move.
This is going to get old, though, because he's not going to be able to do it to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of them moves that eventually you're going to get to a point where
Please throw him the fuck out.
Right.
Let it be Archer and Kingston as the final two.
Back arm, like elbow him.
Come on, Kingston. Fuck him over. Yes! Yes! Oh, Archer. No. Dude, I'm totally okay with Kingston winning this.
I'm okay with either one of them.
Yep.
Kingston, I think, needs it, so I can get behind it.
Right.
But Archer I've been down with him since Lance Hoyt, baby.
And you can tell that they're going to go with Archer.
What are you doing?
Point. You know what I mean? But they're chasing, holding the bag open like that's intimidating.
Right, trying to show him the snake.
As if there's even a fucking snake in there. It's probably like a fucking roll of pillows or,
He's holding something. But right, no. But hey, you know what? That's what a manager's supposed to do, though, right?
Yeah.
Because Jimmy Hart, he used to do all sorts of shit, even right, like that. Give me that kind of crap.
Yep.
There it goes.
Oh, Archer wins. I do love that it came down to Kingston and Archer.
Yes,
so that's really cool.
yes.
And it gives, and I don't think they specify when he gets the title shot, so it could lead to a program with Archer against Kingston for a while too.
Oh yeah, right, right. Oh man, I don't think MJF's gonna win, but I kind of really hope he does. Because how bonkers would that be, dude?
Right.
But I want to see Moxley and Archer.
Yeah.
Here, Taz. Burns my ass, that match. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Jake, get up in the ring, dude. I love it, man. I love it.
And to know that he came from just being Lance Hoyt to this, that he honed this character in Japan and shit.
And I said it way back at some point, and I'll say it again. In one of the wrestling games way back like 10 years ago when they took JB out of the game when he retired and before they put him back in it as a legend, there was 1 year in between he wasn't in. And that was the year they put Vance with a V, Vance Archer, on the program for a little bit of time. He was there for maybe a month or two.
Right.
A cup of coffee. That was kind of a brutal spot.
Yeah.
But anywho's, and in that game, I played it online against a bunch of people, and Vance Archer was my immediate go-to guy. So through any iteration I've ever seen him as, I've always been a fan of him. So I'm very stoked going forward to know that he's going to get a title shot. That's very cool. And to me, like we've said before, you need to have big guys. Like, you don't need to, I guess. You don't need to. But the majority should be big and the minority should be little.
Right.
That way, when the little guy wins it, it doesn't seem like just another win.
And especially since you started out with no big guys.
Yep.
I mean, Hager didn't even come until later.
Right, no, I agree.
And then Wardlow, and so they're rounding out
I'm
the
surprised
roster.
Wardlow wasn't in that battle royal.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, here we go, babies. Oh, I saw the clip of this actually. Can you pause it for a minute?
Yeah.
Hold on, ladies and folks.
I think it's been a good show so far, even just what we've watched. Ace needs another drink.
I do. Did you see the hot rod?
Yeah.
Yep. Pretty dope. I bet he's coming on the golf cart. I do want to show this real quick. I ordered this a while ago when I went over to Marcadis the other day and I got it.
More show and tell.
This will probably be the biggest Lego set you've ever seen, like amount of pieces at once.
He is coming in the golf cart. Holy shit. What is that?
Look at all those bags. There's 46 bags here.
Is that like the fucking Millennium Falcon or something?
All this is a hotel building.
Holy shit.
That's all that is a hotel.
God damn.
Imagine having something like the cantina, dude. The Mos Eisley Cantina comes with. If you want to pause this for a minute and we'll just talk about this so we don't miss nothing. That Mos Eisley Cantina is huge. It comes with like 20 figures and like half of them are brand new, like they've never done before.
Right.
One of them is the guy. They're all obviously from the cantina. Excuse me. Remember the guy that looked like the devil?
Yeah.
They make him. They make so many. They make the guy that has like the weird butt chin that gets his arm cut off, and the other guy that's with him for the first time. It's like 5,000 pieces. This, 2,000 right here. That's 5. That's double this just about. I couldn't imagine that. I've never had. I think this and my helicarrier. My helicarrier was about 2,200 pieces, and maybe my Avengers Tower right now. That's about maybe 2,000 pieces altogether. But this is literally just a hotel. Like not even anything exquisite. It's just the size of it, and it's literally the whole. When it's all together, I don't like that they did this, so I'm gonna do something different because I want to use these as my plates. But because you can't find plates in this shape,
Right.
That rectangular shape, and that'll be cool for.
Oh, for Mario.
Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just buy another base plate that's that size. But that is the exact size of it. It's 4 stories, and each story is at least it's huge. I mean, it's going to stand probably that tall, and it'll be that exact size. Wow. And I'm going to turn that into Dr. Doom's Embassy of Latveria.
Nice.
Which would be really cool because I need a cool Dr. Doom house or something like that. But this is the booklet it came with, and I'll show you real quick. The black book, what it's supposed to look like. I'm glad the instructions are just as...
Wow. Just exactly the same as the Lego.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm so happy about that. But this is...
Holy shit.
That's the hotel. All right, so it's a little bit narrower.
Right.
Because that's obviously cut in. But still...
And you can expand it if you want, So
And I've seen a review of this. This is not Lego brand, and I'm going to express this so much to people that like Lego, and if you're okay with the building bricks not being Lego not compatible because they are 100% compatible, but not brand licensed, and you're okay with having mismatched pieces that still coexist in the same universe. Like if you looked at this city. Unless you knew what sets were specific, you wouldn't know any of that didn't exist in a Lego set.
Right.
Seriously, go online, wish.com, and 01 Big Figures. You will find some really great deals there. Like this set, Lego licensed, $450.
Yep.
I spent, with the shipping, $94. $94. That is cheaper than even if you had seen this in stores and it wasn't upcharged.
Yep.
This is still cheaper. Yeah, I don't get the box, but you know what I did get? Because it didn't even say they came with it. It should have come with more, in my opinion, for the price. But I got the people, the little people. So new little city people to go with this, which is always a plus. And I got the book. And that's the single most important part, is to have the book so you know how to put something like this together.
Yeah.
Well, I really suggest, I mean, even for you, if you're looking for something specific, check those sites out. Because they have just the most absurd things. This will not be the last thing I buy off of that site. Because for $100, this is going to be huge. It's going to add new depth to that. And I just wanted to
That's awesome.
show it off because I thought it was really sweet.
And you look at all those bags and you're like, fuck, man.
And you know that well, this is how the helicarrier was. None of them are numbered.
Yeah.
So it's not like when you're looking like in the Lego book. It's like, all right, go to bag.
Right.
It's like shit. Okay, you need.
It's like putting a fucking puzzle together.
Yeah. Like, all right, right here. I don't know where I'll be, but I need that piece, and this.
Shit.
Yup. Well, it's not that. That's process of elimination.
Do you like separate them by colors sometimes when you do
No.
it, just so you can?
No, only because if they're this big, if I get this many bags, I don't know. I don't really remember what I normally did. I know with the helicarrier, it was easy to tell by what was in the bag, like this. Okay, well, say the first 50 pages in that, I don't need a tan piece, then I'm not even going to open this bag.
Right.
But most of this looks like it's basically color-coded and specific pieces to the said bag, like these. I feel like once I open these, I'm going to need all of these. It's
Right.
not going to be like, oh, you only needed one, so set those aside till later. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get totes that are like this size, like 3 or 4 of them, and then just empty the smaller bags into each one as I go.
Right.
Well, I can't wait to build this. I don't know if it'll be built by the next time we record, but if it is, if wherever I'm at with the progress of it, I'll show it off.
Nice.
See where we're at.
I like it.
Kind of thing. And I can't wait to build it. And again, it's nothing crazy. I mean, it is something crazy. It's a big hotel, which I don't think, because it does come with the hotel sign.
Right.
I don't think I'm going to have this as a hotel. Or I know I'm not, because it looks more like, kind of picture, minus like the diner look, Norman Osborn's house, Willem Dafoe's place.
Yeah.
More of like an old Victorian style home.
Yep.
To where like, if you saw this in a Marvel movie and they said, the guy that is Doctor Doom lives here, you wouldn't be like, oh, no he doesn't. You'd be like, oh, yeah, that looks like a place a creepy motherfucker would live.
Yeah, it looks like an upscale fucking New York City.
Castle-ish kind of house. Yeah. Right. And you know exactly. So I think I'm just going to take the hotel sign, though, and just plant that somewhere else throughout the city just to make that look more eye-popping. But I did see a review that someone did of this. Now, each floor is completely empty, and it's up to you in your own vices on how you build it. She made it, like, legit a hotel and put little individual rooms.
Yeah.
Now, they weren't huge, but individual rooms in, like, the first 2 floors. The 3rd floor, the bottom, was an entire diner. And I'm like, that... Seeing what she did has now let me know there's enough space in there to be very creative. And I can't wait. This is going to be a fun one.
I know that's one of your things is adding stuff that doesn't normally go in it.
Well, that's my thing, too. And I constantly, like right now I'm thinking, well, shit, as you're building it, you know you're just going to make it bigger and bigger. I don't know. I build it, let it sit, and then I think about, what do I want to do now? And then I deconstruct it most of the way and go back to it. It's a weird...
But it's what you like doing,
It is.
so, you know.
It is. I absolutely love it. Wanted to show that off, because I figured to you, that's probably the most Lego pieces you've ever seen at one time.
Yep. That's fucking crazy. And then the fact that they're not numbered makes it even crazy.
Right. Thanks, people. So I'm out of the way with my shenanigans, because I just thought that was really cool. And that's what we do here.
Back to the wrestling.
Wrestling looks like Matt Hardy's got Timmy.
Oh my God! DDT on a fucking metal fucking picnic table. Damn.
Spike DDT.
These guys are taking bumps in every one of their matches that they do not need to.
See, I'm surprised Corny didn't already say, well, Jesus Christ, he took a bump on the steel fucking table. He should have been knocked out right fucking there.
Yep.
You got Jake Roberts on your show who used to knock people out with a DDT on concrete.
Yep.
And then you do one on a steel fucking great kind of table. Table.
This is what it happens this quick?
Wow, this
Holy
match is not
shit.
long then.
Look like an autograph signing table or something. On a scissor lift. And this isn't something that you can like practice either. I mean, I guess you could with a crash pad, but yeah, it even looks too close. Oh,
I'm glad the camera was back further closer further, so you didn't see his head hit.
Yeah,
but he looks dead right there. Why are you not stopping this match right there?
I don't care what he's saying to you. I would stop that match.
Right, you just have in WWE, Ivar fuck himself up, and you see the quick finish.
Yeah,
in that match, that's the way it should have been done.
Like his whole body is rigid.
Look at him; he's dead right there. You know.
There's no reason for this match to continue.
If you and I didn't know that was going to happen, I would be sitting here being like, "What? Like, is he really dead?"
Yeah, we just saw him murder live on fucking pay-per-view. Yep. Yeah, I mean, like he can't even lift like his body. Yeah,
that's absurd.
You should have had somebody come out and start attacking Sammy to take away from
right. One of the elite should have come out.
Yep.
Or
Private Party, because they've been with Matt Hardy lately. You know, like he can move, but no. I mean, look, he can't even get his feet underneath him. Yeah, no, fuck that. He's dragging him. No.
Yeah, right there. She should have been like, okay, he's done.
Yep.
I mean, it should have been done sooner, but again, if you need reasons, there they are, right there.
I mean, I don't care that his brains aren't splattered across the fucking pavement. You know, like he's doing everything he can, but he has no fucking clue. He knows he's in a wrestling match.
Spill it again right here.
Look at that.
Boom!
Oh, dude, and he hit his head again.
Mm-hmm.
No, fuck that. I can see why this is getting a lot of fucking attention.
Like right here, Sammy's doing a good job. I give him credit.
Yep.
Show the aggression. Keep the camera on him.
Like Matt Hardy looks like he's a little more with it, but still, he's got a fucking concussion. You know what I mean? Like,
but even then,
you know,
it may look like he's with it, but in his head, he may have the sense of
he's on autopilot.
Right. He knows that this is his life.
Mean, look at his fucking eyes.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
He knows what should be going on, and he's performing what should be going on, opposed to being a performer with things going on.
Yep. But like, as soon as he took that bump, you should have just won the fucking bell.
I agree. And I wouldn't even. And then this, and then this, and then this. Yep. I forgot that it continues. I forgot that it even continues.
That's fucked. That's totally fucked. Like, if you have to walk with him, you know, with your arm around him to try to stabilize him, yeah, that. Wow.
Well, see, now this right here makes it look like the match is over.
Right.
Which it should have been.
Yeah.
Go back. Not you. People that are watching this, watching us, watching this, watching you, watching us. Go back and watch the SummerSlam episode and see how excited we are during any of it.
Yep.
See how invested we are in any of that. Is that Omega's shirt? The cleaner?
Yep.
It's a cap?
A fucking cap.
A cyborg cap?
Yep.
Who else has got cool shirts?
I like a lot of the Young Bucks ones.
Does Archer have one?
He's got a couple. Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah. Yeah. See, they're
See, somebody should have been already on the other side of the door telling Sammy, don't go back out there.
right.
Why? Don't, so whoever just told him to continue this, that's the person to blame.
Yep.
I'm gonna look into the Archer ones.
Yeah, that's just not cool.
Oh, I wish they would do a Jake Roberts shirt.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah. They need to do them as a 2-pack of action figures.
All of those managers and their guys.
Yeah.
All of them. And I gotta say it again. We talked about the Viscera figure. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks so cool. Oh, he looks so good. And he even comes with the Big Daddy V. Well, I call it Big Daddy V hand. He was doing it with Viscera, but that specific hand, the hardcore title, I was like, he looks so freaking cool.
I do want to get the Miss Elizabeth one.
I saw that.
Because she's in the SummerSlam
Yep.
'88, outfit, and she was like my childhood crush. So,
She's great.
yeah.
No, they had that. They had all of them there, but the Bray Wyatt or the Fiend.
Right. Because people are snatching those up like crazy.
But personally, if they had the Fiend or Viscera, and I was gonna get one or the other, it would be Viscera.
Yeah.
That big Viscera one is so freaking cool looking. Like, where does a point in this match even, or a thing like this even come into play?
Yeah. Just because he can do this doesn't mean he should be doing it right now. That's fucked.
Well, clearly this is the finish.
Right.
But what would have been the point of this finish? I mean, I guess anybody could go back and say, well, what was the point of Shane McMahon always doing it? Okay, fair enough. But more so than ever in this particular match with the events that have happened, what was the point of this?
Yeah. And Sammy took the fucking bump in the Stadium Stampede match. Not the same way, but
He took it.
he took into this fucking crash pad shit.
It would have looked better and made a better story if you had ended it.
Yeah.
And shown Sammy just beat the shit out of Matt. Matt's coming back for revenge. Because now with Matt Hardy winning, what? You beat my ass, but I beat you. Okay, well.
Yeah. It waters down Sammy a lot.
Yeah.
Well, before, if I get one thing I wanted to mention, September 26th, I don't know if you can go now that you've got your daughter, but Mark Henry is doing a signing at the Wrestling Universe.
When?
The 26th. It's a Saturday.
He's my favorite.
I'll take
He's
the day
my-
off.
He is my favorite African American wrestler of all time. I think he should have been the first African American WWE champion.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. I thought that way back in 2010 when he did his fake retirement, and then he was, I think it was 2010, something like that. And then he was going to go for like the championship, but then it swerved and he went for the world title or whatever. But I think he should have been the WWE title or champion.
Yep.
I want to meet Mark Henry,
Okay.
aka Rick Ross.
I'll let you know what the times are because I don't.
No, he wasn't at that Rumble though. He wasn't at the 2001 Royal Rumble.
Did I take a screenshot of it?
I really would love to meet Mark Henry.
No, I didn't. Oh yeah, I did.
Dude,
It's from 12 to 3.
think of this. If we meet Mark Henry, the people that are still alive, we will have met all the living members besides the Rock of the Nation.
Yeah.
Farouk, D'Lo, Godfather, and Mark Henry.
Even Savio.
And Savio.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool to think about. And then when you think on the other hand, we met almost everybody from DX.
Yep.
So I mean, as a fan, that's what I appreciate. And like that's cool. I really would love to meet Mark Henry.
Okay. So I mean,
when Mattel first started doing their new WWE figures like X amount of years ago, he was my very first one I bought when Mattel started doing them. I thought he looked great.
do we want, yeah.
No, I don't want to do this match.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it's good,
Right.
but knowing Shaida,
We don't care about this one. The Dark Order.
I do like that Colt Cabana's in it.
Tag titles.
Here we go, baby.
Kenny Omega and
Come on,
Page.
Adam, turn the page.
And FTR, the best damn tag team in the business.
Wow, totally straight up with them.
Yeah. He's got the matching jacket and shit, and yeah.
Like, seeing him in a jacket like that, like a vinyl-looking jacket like that, totally reminds me of the Brainbusters.
Yeah.
Dude, how cool is that? We know they win, spoiler alert, but
this should be a good match. They should.
How cool is that? With Tully Blanchard.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Like, I love Tully with them a hell of a lot more than I do with Sean Spears.
How are they 7-0 already when they've only been there for, like, fucking a week?
They probably had on Dark, too, so.
Now, when you start finding the All Elite figures, are you buying anyone specific, or are you buying them all?
I'm going to get all of them.
I'm gonna get them all, too.
Yeah, I want at least the whole first series.
Are you going to get the Brandy one?
Yeah, just because it's part of the, yeah.
Other than who they've already made as figures, who's the one you want? That you don't even know if they will make them, but the one that you would want in this company right now?
Archer. Just as I think it'll look badass.
I think Archers would look really badass too. He wouldn't be the top of my list, but I think Luchasaurus would look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I think he would look cool as a big old figure. Those are cool belts.
Yeah, I like those.
I know it's stupid, but it's literally my head is revolving 3 names, and it's Jake, Tully, or Arn. I want one of them.
Right.
I want an All Elite figure of them.
They have said they're going to do the announcers, too. So
I want a Shivani figure!
Too,
oh my God! Yes! You know what? I want a Brian Cage figure.
Yeah?
I would like a Brian Cage with the FTW title.
Do a 2-pack with him and Taz.
I was going to say don't put Stars. If you would have said him, I'm like,
no, I don't care about Stars. Fuck Stars.
I did see, though, that there is another wrestling company that makes wrestling figures. And Ryder and Hawkins, even though that's not the names anymore, I know. It's Myers and Cardona. They did a little commercial for them, and the figures look amazing. Yeah, they look amazing.
It's because those guys are so into figures and shit.
Yeah, they are.
Yep.
I watched their wrestling fantasy shit, which is pretty funny. Adam Page, formerly known as Flex Armstrong.
Who used to come out in just tights and a fucking trucker hat when we first saw him.
He did. He did.
I'm really happy I met him when they did the Bullet Club signing, and I finally got him on that piece of table. Because it would have sucked if I couldn't gotten everybody in the match on that table.
Right? Especially when he wasn't even like the main guy.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, like he was like the jobber of that group.
Yeah.
And he's fucking ghosting me? And for anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, this isn't the same piece, but for wrestling fans that don't really know, like, if the tables and shit are real, we've gone to a handful of shows. We're not the first ones to probably talk about this, but this is a chunk of table that you would typically see at any wrestling event. I mean, really, it's just your run-of-the-mill, like an office table.
Yeah.
It's probably dummied down a little. They probably take some of the metal or something off. I don't know. Maybe not. But it's good inch plus thick. Nice and solid. Now this piece specifically, I don't even remember what the show it was we were at, but the wrestlers Ron Zombie and Bull Dread did a pretty badass outside the ring DDT.
Yeah. And we were right there.
We were right there. You could just hear the snap pound of it. How did I get this? Did I just reach over and take it, or did I ask somebody and they brought it to me? I think I asked somebody to hand it to me.
Yeah, because I grabbed the one that I grabbed. Like
Right.
they were just leaving the pieces of the table there while they were taking down.
Right, 2 different shows. Dave
Yep.
did the same thing eventually at another show.
It was a 5-man ladder match
With
and Matt Hardy went through the table with Brian Anthony. So
who else was in that?
Lucas Sharp. So it was Brian Anthony, Matt Hardy, Lucas Sharp, Adam Page.
Sabu.
No, it wasn't Sabu.
Not that time.
What else was in it? Fuck, I don't remember.
Taven?
No, it wasn't Taven. Shit, that's gonna bother the fuck.
I have the DVDs over there.
I can't remember who else.
Do you remember what the pay-per-view was? Or not pay-per-view, I'm sorry, but the show.
It was one in Waterbury, so it was probably a WrestleFest.
We get the answers around here, folks.
Because you have them all out there, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Because we love that company. Northeast Wrestling. Ugh! We haven't really been paying attention to the match, but
Well, no, because we know it's not, like, I mean, personally to me, we know who wins it.
right.
It's not going to be a match that...
I'm sure it's going to be a solid...
It's one I want to be on, though.
Right.
Well, it was one in Waterbury, you say?
Yeah. I really don't remember. I know it was in Waterbury. Because I know it was in that book.
Yep, right here. The Northeast Wrestling Championship Tables, Ladders, and Chairs match featuring Matt Hardy, Adam Page, Lucas Sharp, Caleb Conley,
That's
and
who.
Brian Anthony.
Yep, Caleb Conley.
The man with the many gimmicks.
More gimmicks than anybody I've ever met. in my
More
life.
gimmicks than the box.
That's where the box of gimmicks came from.
He stole that. Oh my god. Well, yeah, I mean, the tables are pretty legit.
Yeah.
I've never been through one. I've been through, like, a piece of board. But never a table. So
And it's a cool piece to get, you know,
Yeah, it's
from a
kinda
show. And
I wish, though, like, they would have signed it
all the way across.
right.
So
I mean,
it doesn't have void space.
right, because now if people are to ever really inquire, like, where are you going to get the sign over here? I'm like, you! The very first person that to ever ask me that, you! I don't know. Maybe the ref, it's whoever it was. No one. Michael Lombardi, will you sign this for me?
And I remember that it was the only time they did a Q&A right after Northeast Wrestling took over in Bethany. And that was my question to Lucas Sharp when you signed the table.
That is true. That is true. I forgot about that. That was kind of neat.
So it's cool to get the complete.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And that actually was one piece that I never thought I would get, you know, completed because he was part of the Bullet Club and Ring of Honor, and I'm like, it's just not going to happen.
Right. Okay, well.
I thought it was. They
Did
mentioned.
you hear that?
What?
Did you hear what Jared just said?
No.
Shivani just said get tickets at whatever the number was, TIX. And then I swear to God, all I heard JR was saying, and the bologna sandwiches are to my liking. Is that far off from what could he possibly have really said?
I'm sure it could be.
I got my teeth cleaned the other day. It's so weird. They cleaned a bunch of plaque out from behind like two of my teeth. And like now they're spaced in the way they should be. And it's just weird. I keep getting shit caught in it because I'm so used to not.
Yep. One of the stories on FTR is that they have it in their contract that whenever they wrestle, whoever they wrestle has to use the tag rope.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah. They do well at a CTWE show with them chanting and use the tag rope.
Oh my God, they probably. You know what they would do? They'd be heel, and they would.
Oh, yeah.
They wouldn't. They'd be against the rope. That's what I would do if you went into a place that already had a gimmick that the tag rope
Oh yeah,
was
well, like
over,
Mark Sherman with the long golden one.
then your thing should be, you're making a mockery of the tag rope.
I'm not even going to use it.
Right.
Yep.
That would be perfect booking instead of making the. Well, we got to make the tag rope serious in our match. No, avoid using it. Get heat on that. And get people to be like, look it, these guys are such assholes. They're not even going to use the rope, but they're going to bitch. Like that, to me, that's how I would book it.
Right.
I wouldn't book it as, well, let these guys be comedic about it, and you guys go out and be serious about it. No, just say, fuck the ropes. Flex Armstrong in the middle of the ring. Or Matt Cardona.
It's all about Flex Armstrong.
Hey, baby, get your flexing on. Roll up.
I mean, this is literally an old school, just straight up old school tag match, which is nice to see, actually.
You hear Cornette's thoughts on this one or no?
No.
Not either.
But he loves FTR, so. I really could see, just to do it, I could see Cornette doing something with this company, just a one-off, just to be out there and pop everybody and then never do anything with them again.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit somebody with hit Omega with a tennis racket and just leave.
That'd be great.
You know what I mean? And not even take a payoff for it.
Right, just do it.
Just do it, you know?
Because that'd get the company over.
Yep. And he could really save face by just saying, I did something to...
Well, the way you could do that now, right? Something along the lines of, well, when FTR was going to come into AEW, everybody thought Cornette was going to be the guy that managed him, right?
Right.
So now that they actually do have a manager and that conversation is kind of dead and over with, would be the perfect time to say, now that FTR is a tag champions, have them in the ring doing a segment, Tully's cutting the promo for him or whatever, and then I don't care what one out of the three. Probably make most sense if Tully did it, saying, well, I got somebody here that would like to voice their opinion on this tag team and the company overall. Because at that point, unless Cornette has had conversation on a podcast about that rumor, I don't think the fans would see that coming. And then you could have Cornette come in, get a huge pop, and people would be like, oh my God, did not see that, especially now knowing they already had a manager, like Cornette's off the table, right? Let Cornette come in, cut a promo on these guys, and put these guys over. Just put these guys over at all costs, right? And then, well, is it just per chance that Omega is the guy that lost the title to these guys? So how perfect is it that he's the guy that Cornette hates the most, other than the Bucks? So now you have reason to actually have Omega in the ring opposed to just doing it.
Right.
Now you get the former tag champs out there claiming whatever they want, because you know Cornette, if he can say what he wants, then someone else should be able to have that same freedom, right? And then let that transition there into Cornette bumping somebody with the racket, a la, Omega. And then just showing, what's his face, Paige just kind of sitting back like, I'm not going to touch that. And then Cornette just, and that's all I got to say about that. And then, you know what I mean? Like, that, to me, that's how I would book that.
Yeah.
Because as a wrestling fan, I never, ever want to feel anything that's forced. So just because two people have heat does not mean they need to be in the same segment unless it makes sense. And since FTR is a big deal for Cornette, he does not care for Omega. These guys are former champions. These guys are current. You have...
And he can still say, hey, I'm helping guys that I wanted to help, not the company overall.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
I came in to do something. I didn't take a payoff, and he can show, like, his contract saying he didn't take a payoff.
That'd be cool.
You know?
I would be all right with that.
And he can still say, hey, I don't support the product, but I support those two guys, or, or this guy, or,
Well, I wouldn't...
Because he always talks good about MJF, so he likes some of the guys that are in the promotion. He just doesn't like the promotion.
Right.
So.
I don't know necessarily, though, if I would... I know I wouldn't if I was just with the company on TV. I wouldn't say I don't support the company. Because then that right there might be like, well, fuck him then. He was only in business for himself, which if he wants to put these guys over, he's got to, in fact, support said company to a degree. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if he was with MJF and we saw it one time, and then he came out and he said, I don't really support the company, and then Tony Khan was like, well, that partnership is dead and over with, that would suck, because it's like, well, fuck, now there goes a chance maybe in a year or two of ever maybe seeing that again.
Right.
And I only say that because how...
I mean, but how sick would it be if
how easy the wrestling company washes shit away,
right,
and writes things off and tries to ignore it, or it's fickle. That's I don't want to use that word, but that's the word.
I mean, but how cool would it be if this whole thing has been a work by Cornette from the beginning? You know what I mean? And just set it up for the whole year, and then their next huge pay-per-view, he show, like you,
Cool.
you book it like you said.
Right,
you
do
know what
something
I mean?
like that.
Because like he could always say, it's been a work, and I worked all of you, and that would give him even more to talk about. So
that would definitely. I can't say I would see it, but I could see something like that would make the most sense if anything.
Yeah.
Like that would make more sense to do something like that than why Bischoff came in as like the moderator.
Yeah.
That didn't make any sense. It didn't. Like what? There was no. I'm trying to think. Was there a rhyme or a reason? No.
I mean,
but it was cool to see him on TNT
right.
back in wrestling. But I even just listened to him on his podcast. He just says, if Conrad asked him if WWE wanted you to go back as an on-screen personality, what would you do? And he goes, I probably wouldn't do it unless it was like the right thing. Because at this point in my life, I don't want to do the thing that isn't going to make sense to my character, or my career. And I'm thinking, your AEW appearance didn't make a fucking lick of sense.
Right.
You clearly just did that as I don't even know if it was a cash grab or what.
They could have had just one of the announcers do that.
Right, Shivani could have done that. Because Bischoff didn't add, all he added to that was, well, him and Jericho got history.
Right.
Okay. Like, Shivani could have been the guy, the moderator. Another legend. Could have got another legend that people aren't anticipating on him being a big deal. Like, when they brought Bret Hart in to present the title.
Right.
You're not looking at that, maybe you were, because it's new at the time, the company was, but you're not looking at that as like, oh my God, Bret Hart's in the company, what is he going to do in the company?
Right.
It's like, no, he's presenting the title just like Dusty did at the NXT show, right? Isn't he the guy that presented the first world title?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, some people have a spot in wrestling that isn't, there's something that comes anticipating with that.
You know what you could have done? Dean Malenko's in the back. You could have had Orange Cassidy say, hey, you wanted the debate? I picked the moderator. I'm picking Dean Malenko.
Right.
You two have history. I'm picking him as the moderator.
And somebody that's so laid back and chilled, kind of like Cassidy, too.
Yeah.
Exactly. And right, the history, the man of 1,000 holds, the man of 1,001 holds.
Yep.
So, yeah, absolutely. And then you could have Jericho have a fucking huge list.
Or even have Cassidy have a huge list with nothing on it.
Right.
Nothing on it at all.
Yeah, that would be clever. That kind of stuff would have been clever. I didn't know I knew Dean Malenko was in the back. I know I did. Well, yeah, you could have had someone like Dean Malenko, right? That he didn't do anything other than just agree or disagree with what was said.
Right.
So yeah, that would have been cool.
It's cool to think about shit like that.
Shit, even if they didn't have Tully, just thinking, Dean Malenko would have been a good manager.
Yeah.
He would have been fun.
Yep.
Because he's that old school style.
Poison Rana.
Is that what he calls it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or is that what it's
That's
called?
what Excalibur calls it all the time.
Oh.
So. But I can see why Jim Cornette hates him. He does over the top like the bang and shit, but it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like it's theatrics just to be theatrics.
Right, because your character isn't defined by what you're doing.
And you're not in the Bullet Club anymore, so doing the bang shit is just pointless to me. The
thing is, though, I think with Cornette, he doesn't understand the Japanese lifestyle.
Right.
And that is clearly what Kenny Omega's entire persona is focused towards. Because he knows, Kenny Omega knows this. He's not going to go to WWE ever, I don't think.
No.
So, don't stop doing what made me big in Japan in case I don't make it over here. Because then if I become the wrestling super, entertainer or sports entertainer that WWE is, the Kenny Omega signature style might not hold up over in Japan anymore. I don't know if that's true, but his whole entrance, everything, his mannerisms is all very Japanese anime, like teen-centric style.
I think the best comment Cornette ever had about him was like, did you see that promo video where Kenny Omega's walking in Japan and nobody's going up to him for autographs or nothing? If he's so big in Japan, why is nobody on the street paying attention to him?
I did hear that.
Yeah. And that makes a lot of fucking sense. Right. If he's the most popular wrestler in fucking Japan, why isn't anybody coming up to him?
So, okay, on that point, that's his intro, right? His Titantron thing? Now, let's play devil's advocate maybe
All right.
and say maybe he's going for he is this big star, but nobody notices him. Okay, that's a point, but where are you going to go from there?
Right.
If you're a big star that nobody notices, are you really that big of a star?
Yep.
You know, like the leather outlets up in Lake George here where we live, around where we live. You always hear on the radio when you hear their commercial, world famous, world famous, world famous. Okay. I've seen a lot of movies from across the world. You know how many times I've heard the leather outlets in Lake George reference? I want you to take one big guess. Dave's going to take a guess, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see how close he is to that. How many references do you think I've heard? 0.
Goose egg, 0.
You're only as famous as you think you are. Right? That's true,
Yep.
in my opinion. You're only as famous as you think you are. So on that note, I go 100% with Cornette on you and you on how are you that famous and nobody's noticing you. But my thing is, I'm just so famous nobody notices me because I'm such a loner. Okay, then be that. Stop being the guy that's forcing the loner cowboy into a group of people.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm now breaking down his character, ladies and gentlemen. But that's like the stuff Cornette, I feel like, really talks about too, and that makes sense when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Like, or if you don't think about it, I don't know. I like Kenny Omega. I do. He has won me over with the AEW because I like this company a lot. But that doesn't mean I think he's the best wrestler this company has.
Right.
I definitely think he's
And
probably...
he's been portrayed as that for so fucking long. You
Yes.
know?
And honestly, if it wasn't for Jericho and his feud like 2 years ago, he'd be on my radar because of this still. But he wouldn't be up in there of like, I give him credit because that very first match he had with Jericho was straight up awesome.
Right.
It was epic. When he came in dressed as Pentagon
Yeah.
and shit, dude, that was cool.
That
man.
was good shit. Like, I wouldn't have known about Omega and Okada if I hadn't been watching the Bullet Club shit on Ring of Honor.
I wouldn't have known
You know what
about
I mean?
Okada at all
Yeah.
unless that shit.
So, yeah. I get it.
But I would say, as a singles competitor, and excluding these tag team guys, Omega's probably in my like top. If I had a top 10, he's probably in them.
Yeah.
For AEW, I'm not saying worldwide.
Right.
Maybe there's not even a top 10 list because maybe I can't think of that many for AEW. But whatever my top list is, he's within it. Sure. They just got to do something because he's talented. He is. But they got to find someone for him to feud with. Because he was fun with Moxley.
Yeah.
He was very fun with Moxley.
And that's the thing is you have to give him somebody really good. It's like Cena. You have to give him somebody really good to feud with.
I think that's what Cena is just because his wrestling wasn't even that great.
Yeah.
Where I give
okay.
I see your similarity, like your
Right.
point. If you have the right dancer to part with, if you have the right partner to dance with, you're gonna look better. Now I'm not saying he looks bad wrestling FTR, but say they put Kenny Omega against who do we got in this company that you think would be pretty good against Omega? And actually could carry on the story.
I mean, maybe if you turned him heel and he went up against Cody. You know what I mean?
I can see that, absolutely. But I mean, I guess I could see Omega. Like, I don't know.
If they brought Brian Pillman Jr. in a
Right
lot,
up.
that could be a really good feud.
It could be because they're similar to the same style.
Yep.
But I don't know enough about Pillman Jr. to know what his like character
Right.
is. I'm literally just trying to think of like people.
Maybe Janela.
Joey Janela.
Yeah. I think they could have some good matches.
I think he could too.
Because Janela can wrestle. That's the thing. He really can.
He's a goon, but he can.
Yep.
They definitely need more guys though to cross-platform this shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think Colt
Pages.
Cabana
Cool
really
would be.
he
needs
to do some serious wrestling matches.
Yeah.
Because he can.
Now that
you
he's
know-
with the Dark Order, the whole fun needs to stop.
Yeah.
Because what's the point?
Right. Because he can have really good matches. And I get that he's trying to save his body, so he does the comedy shit. He's trying to have longevity, but that doesn't mean you can't pull out a 5-star match every once in a while.
Less is more.
You know, yeah. This match has actually gone longer than I thought it would.
It has. Which I don't mind.
No. Makes me think Moxley and MJF is going to be short.
Well, maybe, I'm thinking just because it's short, maybe they stretch this out a little bit because the Matt Hardy thing.
Right.
Maybe, you know?
Yeah. And it's not like the Dark Order match was going to go long.
Did we already skip that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yep. Like, I thought the Battle Royal had a pretty good pace to it, especially, you know, with the way they had people coming in and shit.
You know who I think would be a pretty good match for Omega, honestly? Because they both do similar... They have mannerisms that, or characteristics that are like, that's tongue-in-cheek, but I think they would blend pretty good in a feud, is Omega and Cardona.
Yeah.
Neither one of them are super over, like, big main event. I mean, Omega would be in comparison, but they're not like Undertaker, Chris Jericho level. Right. So that would be a great platform for both of them to grow together. Because you've never seen them wrestle. A whole new thing. Cardona looks like a brand new man.
Yeah.
And
Omega and Billy Gunn.
I would like that, but what's the payoff? What would be the point of that?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm thinking match-wise, it would be.
Yeah, match-wise, it'd be great. But then again, you're just throwing a match together.
That's true. Yeah. I get it.
And that's what we kind of.
No, I get it.
Because with Billy Gunn, I can see it. Billy Gunn could have a 5-star match with almost anybody. But for him, unless it was like one last push, what would that benefit Omega on as well?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't want to bitch and be like, well, they just did that just because. I mean, they could be doing that for any of this. But, like this, I think FTR getting a title shot and winning the title is brilliant in their first title shot match.
Right.
That's only going to help.
And it's not like they got one as soon as they got into the company.
Right. I think it's great. It makes sense. Opposed to, like, the Luchasaurus team or whatever getting the tag team title. It's like, really?
Yeah.
The little guy and the big guy win it just because, well, that's a dynamic we've hardly seen. It's like, no, that doesn't, you just did that for the sake of doing that. This makes sense. You've got two guys coming in the business that are burned from a bad run elsewhere that want to legitimize this shit, and you got a cowboy and a goofball as your champs.
Yep.
The story's there. The feud is there. And then totally just being conveniently with the company already.
Right.
Imagine if Tully and Arn were the managers together for them.
That would be cool.
That would be cool because you've never really seen a two-man manager team. And that would be cool. Be like, wow, not only do they have one half of the Brain Busters, they've got the Brain Busters. Like, that would be cool.
Or even if they had, like, every once, you know, they would fight over who gets to go out with them. You know what I mean? Art could be like, no, I know this team better, you know, and I can give them more insight.
Right.
You know what
and
I mean?
then you could split that. Eventually, if that ever became a feud between them, it's a natural progression of, well, Arn, I'm taking, I don't know what their names are, Dash, and Tully's taking Wilder or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't think they should ever break up, but you have options other than just, because you know if they break, well, I don't want to say if, but if WWE broke them up, it would have been why.
Yeah.
And with no rhyme or reason, you would have just heard on the news one day that this guy's gone and this guy's on SmackDown.
Yep.
You hear the rumor. Oh, that's scary.
Oh!
Whoa, Jesus Christ, man. That's gnarly. See, moves like that should be the finish. That's too big of a move.
Yeah.
To where now if a super kick gets it, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
You just knocked the wind out of him. He should have been like, I'm not getting my shoulder up.
Yep. That's like Omega will throw like 6 fucking Snapdragon suplexes. I'm like, he just landed on his fucking head 6 times.
He's either dizzy, concussed, or winded. Like, you definitely got the job done, guys.
Like, I get Angle doing the Germans, but those don't look as with the snap that he throws those snapdragons. The snapdragons look like they should fucking break your neck.
Right, and especially with Angle, he sold how hard it made that look.
He took his time doing it. Yep.
And I can just see him now, just not gyrating, but hoisting those hips to launch that motherfucker on like the first suplex where you're like, how did he not release that? There's 2 more left in the tank.
I could see him doing one run here once, Angle just coming in for a few matches.
I'd like to see him just do one match.
Yeah.
Something to show him and Cody.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Now, is Cody injured right now? Or is he just...
I think they're selling it. Good. That he got beat up by Brody.
Which is good, because you can clearly tell he's reacting right now to what the internet's been saying.
Right.
He really... That going off of TV, losing the title within, like, literally the same weeks of, like, the harsh open challenge negative backlash he was getting. I think he's playing it right now.
And I get Tony Khan gets a lot of shit because he likes a lot of the indie guys, but he also appreciates old school shit too. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these storylines that they've done feel old school to me. So.
No, I agree. Ooh. Nasty little spike ball driver. That should be one.
And it is.
That
was and that's the kind of move that should be a finish, like you said. Like, yeah.
Yep.
And it makes sense. They're doing the Brain Busters move, the spike pile driver.
That's good. That was a good book match.
Yep.
Not great, but it was a good one. That was good. They had a good result, good ending, good finish in my book. I mean, I'm not a wrestler. I don't know, but we've got enough experience between the two of us to have an opinion on this shit.
Yeah, it was good. And I think their styles don't really mesh,
Is there a thing called Fear the Revolution?
Fear the Revelations.
The Revelations.
Yeah.
I want that jacket. Imagine having a Tully action figure looking like that, man.
Wearing the Jeff Jarrett fucking white pants.
He's so cool. I hope we meet him. Look at that. I love that slingshot fucking lariat.
Oh, dude, that shit's great.
Oh, I didn't even notice he got the V-trigger on him. I didn't realize that was the thing. And boom! See, Omega, you shouldn't have been right there.
Right.
Because now you made it look weak.
Yep.
You should have slipped off. Right.
Yeah, because it looks like you could have actually gotten in there if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he fucked
totally
that
should
up.
have pulled him. Something about. Hey, I liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
And for the first time, actually I don't know if it's the first time. Well, first time in AEW, Tully is the manager of a tag team.
That's fucking
with
great.
Championships. And I've always said it. I don't know if it's labeled this in the books, but I've always said the manager that is with the champions or champion is a champion himself.
Yeah.
Because they're the guy that managed them. Their name's going to be an asterisk next to theirs in the book. So
it's kind of like the coach in the Olympics. They get a fucking gold medal too.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So like Paul Heyman is, I would never say he's a world heavyweight champion, but he's got status of being in the world title name. So Tully, you have status of being an AEW tag team champion holder.
I like it.
And I think that's cool. And again, using managers in the right way. What are you doing, man? Is Omega going to turn heel?
I don't know, man. But they've been showing him kind of like doing the Jericho, like WCW flipping out lately, but like he doesn't come across as believable when he's angry to me.
Well, even that finish though.
Right.
If anyone should be mad, it should be him, or anybody should be Page against him, because like you said, he's in arm's reach.
Right.
If anything, Kenny should have got the loss.
Yeah.
No, I feel like he's still going to turn. I feel like they'll still turn. Because Page is, Page is selling it hard there.
And for, the way they were building it, it looked like Page was going to turn heel, but...
No, he'll put... Does he have a submission? Oh, come on! That was a good shot.
Kicking the beer.
That was a good shot.
You don't waste a man's beer. What's wrong with you?
So he does the V trigger and the Falcon Arrow, or whatever. What is it
The
called?
one-winged angel.
One-winged angel. That's what it is. Isn't that the same as Falcon Arrow or something? Or no, is that
No, not quite. Because he grabs like their head and
yeah.
flings. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Huh. Here at the TNA, the Impact Zone.
Right.
Where's Gorilla?
At least their lighting rig isn't fucking overwhelming like fucking WWE. Oh, so now he's gonna give shit to the Bucks.
Yeah, did you see the AEW toy belt?
Yep. See, like, why is he the one that's pissed off? He's the one that fucked the match. Why is he the one, like he's acting like Paige was the one that fucked up the match.
Right.
You know? Yeah, just fucking super kick him. Get it over with. Where the fuck you going? He's just gonna
What
get
do we
in his
have
car and
left?
drive
Just
off.
the last match?
Jericho and Cassidy, and then Moxley and MJF.
We'll probably have about 40 or so minutes.
Do you want to just do Moxley and MJF, and then if we have time, do Jericho and Cassidy?
Yeah. And if we can't, put it in the note right now. If we can't do the Orange Cassidy one,
Okay.
the start of the very next episode we do on Sunday.
Okay.
Even though it'll be on the comic shop, we will still do that match.
Okay.
But yeah, so right now, we'll just say right now, if anybody's following us, if we do not have time to watch this match and the Orange Cassidy Mimosa match or whatever, isn't that what that one is?
Yeah. The Mimosa Mayhem match.
We
Yeah, 'cause
will.
this is almost a half an hour. So.
Okay, we will definitely do it on our very next episode. Not of the wrestling ring because we'll try to keep it pretty close.
Yeah.
But we'll do it on the very next comic shop, which will be the Spaceballs episode. So hopefully you'll stick around for that if you like it.
The name of the title, Spaceballs the Podcast, because it was always Spaceballs the T-shirt,
Yep.
Spaceballs the Flamethrower, Spaceballs the Podcast.
Spaceballs the podcast.
Perfect.
Don't jam us up. So yes, that'll be before we even get into that topic. That match we will do
I like that.
Champion.
That's good.
Do a little crossing over. But yes, as of right now, it's MJF, one of the best heels, and I'm gonna say one of the best performers. He's very talented.
He is. He really is.
In any business of wrestling right now, I love that title so much.
That's a great.
Against reigning, defending champion Dean Ambrose, or what? I'm sorry, John Moxley.
And I like that belt, their world title belt, looks old school, and their tag belts look more modern.
Yeah,
You know, stuff like that. I like.
and they don't look like they're the same either. Which
Right.
I'm glad. Now I have to. Do you know if they make the AEW patches?
I have one. They came in the. They came in a loot crate box.
Do they do an AEW loot crate?
There's like pro wrestling crates, and they do. There was one that had one.
I want a pat.
I'll see if I can find one.
I'm looking at the referee. I love the AEW logo and
Yeah.
everything it has to do with. And that reminds me to also say, again, please check out 3C Films on YouTube. And if you're watching this video, even if it's like 3 people that like it and watch us, and you go to his channel and you like and watch him, leave in the comments who you heard it from.
Yeah.
Because
That'll
he
help
will
us out.
respond, and we want to get a little bit more notoriety. And I'll say it, if we can ride the coattails of someone else and have fun while we're doing it, and they can too,
Yep.
why not?
I think when we can start going to cons and stuff again, it'll be easier to get the name out. But it's hard when people are just searching for something on YouTube for them to really come across what we do.
And that's why
Yeah.
I'm trying to get us out in that YouTube
Right.
world of just putting the name out there. Because He didn't just ask what's the name of the podcast for no reason. He could have ignored it.
Right.
But the first thing I said to him was, first thing, we're not huge. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to make it seem like we have hundreds of thousands of followers. We have like 100. Minus 50. Subtract 25. Divided by 6.
No, I think we have 36 subscribers. That's better than having
On YouTube, we're all together.
on YouTube.
Hey, it works for me. So let's all help each other out.
Right. And I do like how MJF has been doing the campaign and all that stuff. And he's such a good talker. It's amazing that as young as he is, you would think that he's had 10 years in the business, and he really hasn't. With how good of a heel he is and how good of a talker he is.
Well, some people clearly just can just naturally do it and talk that way. Like Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
I think Pat McAfee has cut some of the best promos than almost anybody else, without even seeming like there was any effort.
Right.
Like when I listened to Dominic thing the other day where Murphy was like challenging him to a match or something, and just listening to Dominic, I'm like, yup, and you sound just like a puss, just like your dad when he cuts a promo. Like,
Yep.
You don't have it. You don't have any intimidating factor about you. Like, MJF's not a big guy. Oh, what a word ball. Blending into the ring post. But MJF's not a big dude. I mean, he doesn't come across as one, but his mouth, he's got a mouth that'll back up that bark.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it makes him fun.
And his look, he looks like a star. Like he
does.
You know what I mean?
I love the colors that he does. Now, I'm not just saying the red, white, and blue, but I like the Argyle pattern that he does. I like the plaid look. I like that look.
You know what he makes me think of? He is what Jim Cornette would be as a heel if Cornette was an actual wrestler. That mama's boy, rich kid that can talk.
So EC3?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Who would I picture if Cornette was a wrestler? Huh? I want to try to find someone that I think he might be.
Just destroying everything, just guardrails everywhere.
I think if Cornette was a wrestler, CM Punk.
Yeah?
Old school, respect for the business, doesn't put up with stupid shit, has a mind for the business and knows what works, clearly knows how to book matches from his 2012 run and shit like that, because he had a lot of control over that.
Yeah.
I would have to assume, I'm going to assume, because that wasn't it 2012? That was his WWE Summer of Punk?
Because you know that Vince isn't going to book him with Daniel Bryan for
Right.
like 2 pay-per-views.
Wrestling look-wise, now I know they physically don't look anything alike, but CM Punk does not look like the traditional wrestler that would have been the main guy.
Right.
Okay? Cornette clearly doesn't look like the traditional guy that would even matter to wrestling.
Might not have the same wrestling style, but just be that.
Well, you don't look like the guy that I think you are, but when I get into it, there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Both extremely controversial with things they've said, things they've done. Love-hate relationship between fans and the business, between both perspectives of them. And both are being anticipated on their returns.
Yeah.
But I think CM Punk, I could be wrong, I'm just thinking this on the spot, but I think CM Punk embodies what Cornette sees as a real wrestler. A guy, maybe not, because Cornette is, he is kind of about the look, but if you can go, you can go. That's his other thing.
Right.
Stand up for what they believe in, even if it gets them fired. And they're the best at what they do.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
No.
If I break it down and I want to have that conversation, I would say CM Punk is Jim Cornette's spirit animal wrestler. Ooh, that was a nasty one. You don't normally see it on the elbow or nothing like that.
Yeah, that's something that can go wrong really bad. You hit your elbow.
Yeah. Like, right, normally, like, when it's the twist, whatever that's called, it's a drop to the shoulder.
Yep. Yeah, most of them try to do a flat back bump on it.
Right, or drop straight on your front.
Yep.
But always as close to on the flat side of the apron. But again, I give credit to so many things that are new that it's like, oh, you know what? That's cool. Like, let's watch this again.
Oh, yeah.
You believe, they're not hurt or nothing, so that's a new. Ooh. He's got a very William Regal aggressive.
He does.
Like, very early WCW William Regal, Steven Regal aggressiveness.
Yep.
Just calculating, vicious. Like this. Like, this is a Regal thing.
Yeah.
Just pick your opponent apart. You're not going to for the win right now. You are going to send a message. And that's very cool in my book. Because I like that old school heel.
Yeah.
Not hooking the leg with straight confidence. You know what I mean?
And I think the fact that he hasn't wrestled a lot yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Has helped him.
That's true. That's where if you said you would think he may have 10 years plus wrestling.
Right.
We don't know. But that's where if you were to say he looks like he looks like a guy that's got X amount of years of wrestling, I would totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
The kid can go. I don't care what anyone says. The kid, MJF is the best AEW created star.
Yeah.
Is that fair? Because I'm not going to go with Brody Lee. I'm not even going to go with like a Vance Archer because they're all outside guys I've seen previous. MJF to me is someone I've never seen until this company. And I think he's the Randy Orton. I'm not saying that in a negative way.
Right. He's
the Randy Orton of this company.
The guy they're going to build it on.
I hope so.
Yeah.
He's the young prodigy.
When they first started doing shows, I thought they were going to push Jungle Boy really fucking hard.
They did seem, and I think that was because his dad had passed, right?
Yep. I mean, the kid's got talent, no doubt, but
he's just, if they had a cruiserweight division, he's the Rey Mysterio of 1997, 98.
Right.
Of that division. The top dog, Ultimo Dragon 2000 of that what the fuck is the word I'm looking for?
The weight class?
Yeah. Yep. Because he's good.
Yes.
He is, and you know what? He could have a great match with someone like MJF, which they have wrestled. But MJF has the ability to transition into the mid-card guy and the main eventer.
Yep. And they've pretty much used him as a mid-card guy
his
until
entire
this point.
Exactly. Even with Cody, he never went and won the TNT title.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like this guy is getting stuff handed to him. He's creating his character. He's making a legacy before. Oh my God, man! What a fucking move!
Damn, just a fucking arm whip into the turnbuckles.
Very cool.
And I think this company has done a good job of slowly building people.
I think so too. And that's a lot of the feedback they get is they don't know how to build stars. I'm sorry, but look who is taking it to former WWE World Champion Dean Ambrose.
Right.
He's not a WWE guy, is he? It's not Wardlow, the big monster, is it? No. It's the guy that should be in the ring, that should be going for the title because he's not big and buff. No, but he can go.
And like a guy like Archer, yeah, you brought him in as a debut with the TNT title, but you didn't give it to him right away. So you're making him look like a monster, but you're slowly building that monster.
Up to this match he had where he won it, I do think they were slowly using him. He wasn't having... I don't think he's had, other than with Cody, a high-profile match that you like that match. Like, he's not wrestling Christopher Daniels or the SCU guys.
He's kind of getting the Ryback treatment. Really.
Right, which... up to this point, I don't want to keep seeing that. Put him in with people, Evil Uno, people that are established that are going to progress his career And not only are you going to give me matches I haven't seen, ooh, holy fuck.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow.
You went a little too deep with the blade there, brother.
Could you rewind that a little bit and just
Yep.
see where the bump was?
Is that where he threw him into the...
Did he throw him in the turn post? Or, yeah. Oh, it was a steal. Or the,
Oh!
he looked like he was far from that.
And he went underneath the apron. Yeah,
But that was a lot of blood right there.
that's like Eddie Guerrero.
I don't think I've ever seen him bleed.
I don't think I have
I don't
either.
think I've seen him.
He went right to the hairline, too, so
he
it
did.
wasn't going to his...
Yeah, he did.
Yep. Which is smart. Like, all those guys that just fucking slice their forehead. Undertaker always did the fucking hairline, too. He always, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H did later on. He was doing his forehead.
Yeah,
in
now
the
he's got
Attitude
the
Era,
forehead that if he doesn't have his, like, head up, like, you know, his eyes open up wide where there's wrinkles, you're going to see the scars all over.
Yep.
Yeah, he's wearing it good. I mean...
Yep. And they don't do...
Look at him.
He's
He's loving it.
They don't do too much of this either with the bleeding.
No, and you know what? That's one thing I do disagree with Cornette and Brian last on, actually, is they say that these guys bleed too much. Now, sure, they do. There's blood in almost every Dynamite episode. But it's involuntary. If you... Matt Hardy getting busted open on the corner post or the chair. Right. Sammy Guevara getting busted open during their match.
Cody with the chair shot from Shawn Spears.
When Cody jumped over the top, I mean, I'm trying to pick what I remember. Cody doing the dive, though, outside of the rope or onto the diamond plate. Britt Baker getting her nose busted open.
I think Dustin's really the only one that probably bladed.
Right. During his feud with Cody, right?
Yeah.
So, on that, sure, maybe it's reckless. But again, I would rather see the guys bleed and it be natural and they're okay, of course, than to know that they're bleeding.
Right.
It doesn't bother me. I understand it, and it adds to what we're watching, and whatever. When it's necessary, it's totally okay.
It's not like Flair didn't fucking bleed in almost every match he had. You know what I mean?
I sense that. But I don't know, and I like it though when accidents happen and they're healthy accidents.
Right.
Because it adds that element of, oh shit. And that's what you want. You want people talking so they tune in.
Yep.
You know?
That was a good
like the Matt Hardy thing. Thank God he's okay, but more people wanted to know, like, oh shit, that something happened. Let me tune into that, opposed to, oh, Matt Hardy's got a match with this kid.
Or like, Sammy throwing the chair at him. That became a viral thing. That, that's the one good thing about the social media is you can get that shit going. Because before it was word of mouth or the dirt sheets or the magazines and
Exactly.
MJF going for the arm bar, which is he's been working on the arm the whole match, which makes a lot of fucking sense. Oh, he did a fucking cradle pile driver on him. He stuck that too. That was actually pretty good. And like, look at that. I mean, MJF's blood is all over Moxley's fucking torso.
I see that.
And that's like the pile driver. If they can do it safely, I don't see any problem with the pile driver.
Any move.
Yeah.
Any move. If you can do it safely, you're comfortable. I mean, accidents are going to happen no matter what.
I mean, the only reason Owen Hart hurt Austin was because he did it wrong.
Right, his head wasn't tucked.
Yeah.
And you can even see that before he drops.
Yeah.
If you look at that. And you know what? It might be because of the color of my TV, but it doesn't look like blood for some reason.
Yeah.
I feel like it looks like paint.
Yeah.
Is that kind of right? Like, I mean, is that a little fair to say? It kind of looks like paint.
He might be one that just, it looks, it's...
I think it's the color of my TV. Because if you notice the red.
Yeah.
The red really is jumping out.
Yeah.
Like right down in that bottom corner. It looks like you're fucking wearing the Kool-Aid Man or something. That's a Tomko shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, the Kool-Aid Man is Macho Man.
Oh, no. That was always one of my favorite things of Family Guy was when they would do fucking Kool-Aid Man. He's been working the arm the whole match. That's so good. Like, That with the double foot stomp, I like. But when it's just a fucking
when it's
high
the Warrior's
spot,
way kind of foot stomp, right?
Or it has meaning to it where he's wearing down the arm. But when they just do it,
because it looks better than an elbow drop,
right? Yeah. The same thing with the suicide dive. Yeah, it looks cool.
It's so
but
overplayed.
so many people do it. The sling blade. Like when Rollins and Balor are doing the sling blade on the same fucking pay-per-view. It's like, come on. And I've had somebody say to me, well, what if two guys do the pile driver? But that's an old school. And
It's
you can vary that too.
The pile driver is a generic move.
Right.
People just use. I mean, the sling blade is not. That's not a common move that should just be in your arsenal.
Yeah. That's like something Canyon would have in his arsenal that he would pull out.
Right,
like something that he innovated.
Like the choke slam, okay? Big guys do the choke slam. The only little guy that I can think of that legit did the choke slam was the Hurricane.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that got it, and he got away with it because he's a superhero, so his is very strong.
Yeah.
Now, say MJF uses a choke slam because that's just, he likes that move. Okay, if you start doing that in every match because that's like part of your arsenal, then that move is weak. There's no point in that move the next time I see, say, Brody Lee does it.
Right. Or if, like say, MJF is frustrated because he doesn't know what to do, Wardlow says do a choke slam because that's one of his moves. I get that.
A character development
thing,
right. But for him to just start doing it because, well, it's an easy move, well, shit, it'll get over because it's normally a finisher. So if I start using it as like a regular, people will start being like, well, Jesus, look at that.
Yeah.
Like the DDT. That should have never have stopped being an ender.
Yeah. Sure,
you can use that in the, Jake Roberts is the originator of it, right?
Yeah.
Is the originator of the DDT. Sure, shit ton of people have done it. Mick Foley was probably the second, right here. Same thing. He's going to go for it, right? The modified DDT.
Yeah, he can't because that's the part of the contract.
But I'm saying, like, that's what his is a modified version of it, okay? Yep. So if somebody does a quick, I just reverse this and then I hit you, snapped you with the DDT, the only way that shouldn't be a finish is if both of us afterwards are out.
Right.
And I can't get to the cover.
Or
if I hit you with a springboard hurricane tornado DDT, the craziest version of that move from the top rope, and I pin you and you kick out.
Right. Unless you flop and your fucking foot's on the rope, that should be the only reason.
Right.
You don't get
Because I just jacked your neck.
Yep. And like when Arn Anderson used it, it was a finish. When Michael Hayes used it, Raven, Tommy Dreamer, it was a fucking finish.
Exactly, it was a finish.
And when Raven would kick out of Dreamers, it was because the feud was Dreamer could never beat him.
There was a story there. Right. He's the guy to kick out of it if anybody.
Right.
No, man, seriously. Yep. I mean, just like they don't do it now. They don't really even use it as a submission. Chris Masters was like the last guy to do the full Nelson, really.
Lashley does it now, too.
Does he do the full Nelson? Okay.
Yep.
But, I mean, it made sense with... That's funny that's Lashley doing it because he was the guy to break it.
Yeah.
But Chris Masters, he didn't just use that as a move. That was what his whole character was based off of.
Right.
The master lock. So if he... Ooh, baby dog.
Damn.
No way.
Oh.
I thought it was it.
Yeah, I did too.
But when Chris Masters did the master lock, you knew it was it.
Yep.
It wasn't like, oh, he just applied a move and now the master lock is on. It's the one move not even Cena could break.
Yep. And like when Shawn Michaels made it look like he was going to break it, Masters never had it fully on to begin with.
Right.
You know what I
So
mean?
it only amplified it.
Right.
And then once he locked it and just started.
Yep. Yeah.
So badass. That's how you use a move. Like, you can't springboard anything's can't just be spur of the moment. This is going to, like, this is just part of the move. Like Cornette says all the time, if you're going to use a table, it's got to be the end. It's got to be the finish.
Yep.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, air raid crash.
You're not going to keep getting up. Oh!
I thought that was going to be it.
Like, logically, even when Matt Hardy and Guevara dumped off the scissor lift, That should have been the finish anyways.
Yeah.
How are you going to start your match like that?
Yeah.
Like, you both fell off of a 10-foot scissor lift onto concrete, but I'm supposed to believe Sammy Guevara falling 10 foot off of a scaffolding onto a crash pad? Let me believe the concrete was the winner.
Yep.
So,
or have the crash pad thing be first, have Matt Hardy pull him out, and then go to the scissor lift thing as a final resort, you know?
I'm loving this, dude.
Yeah.
Slap him.
Yeah, this is a good match. Like, I'm more into this than I definitely was Moxley and Brody Lee, that's for sure.
I love this. Look at Moxley. He's like, do it.
He's a good performer. I don't,
he's great.
People give him shit.
And
I mean, Cornette calls him like Stone Cold cosplay, which I think is funny. But
I'm pretty sure when Shield first came around, you and I, when we started doing the podcast, we were saying, we didn't do it when Shield first started coming around, but we always had an idea of Moxley was like the guy.
Oh yeah, yep. He carried the promos.
Yeah,
you know. I mean, when he was doing the stupid, goofy, lunatic fringe, it was
that's WWE.
When he was first the lunatic, it was
no
good.
way, not a roll up or a backslide.
Look at that, and he plants his feet and puts pressure on.
Puts pressure down, so he's harder to get up. Yep.
He's so good.
Look at this chain wrestling.
Oh, look at that, right into a sleeper.
Chain wrestling.
Like, he's done all this stuff, and he's going to a sleeper.
Right, you're working them. Look at the blood pour out now that he's squeezing his head.
Yep.
I'm into this, man.
This is a good match.
He's gonna boot him.
Low blow. Yep.
What is MJF's finisher? A roll up?
I know he does an armbar as a finisher, but
I'm surprised his I know Moxley and his lawyer had a match the week prior.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised he's just not out there just to keep that or whatever I'm trying to say going.
Come out with a neck brace
presence.
on. And,
yeah.
Yep.
But you know what's honestly, this is a great match because there has not been any interference.
Yeah.
So MJF is standing on his own, which even if he loses this makes him look good.
Yeah.
It should anyways. Oh, is he gonna fucking go for a crossroads?
Yep.
No way. No
that
fucking way.
Wasn't a good one, but.
It's the eyes, man. It's the eyes. You guys got to change the camera angles.
Right. And it's not like...
And someone asked Cornette that about...
Yeah.
And he goes, I've never heard that in my life. Like, basically shooting that whole thing down. And I made a comment, and I'm like, I agree with a lot what Cornette says, but there's no way that he's never been aware of camera placement and the guy laying down looking up at the ref for the 3 count.
Because WWE does it all the fucking time,
They've done it as long as I can remember, man. Yeah. And oh, there's the interference. Okay. Oh, okay. I thought he really lost it. Didn't know where it went. Oh, paradigm shift.
Yep.
Is it paradigm?
Paradigm.
Paradigm?
Yep. See, but this gives MJF an out to get a rematch.
Yep.
Because he used the move he wasn't supposed to use.
Right. No,
so,
exactly.
So he'll get the lawyer with the fucking neck brace and say, you use the move that you put in the contract that you wouldn't use.
Yep.
So he gets a rematch.
Perfect. That makes sense. That makes the most sense, and let's kind of hope that's where they're going to go.
Because that makes so much logic sense. Like, you use, Wardlow interfered, but still, you use the move that you said you wouldn't use.
Look at these guys. Look at that. Oh, that's his shirt right there. Okay. Get right in there. Get the Murder Hawk right in there, dude. Start the feud. Don't give him even a chance to breathe.
Right.
Because you know what? Everybody dies.
And I like that they don't do it with like a briefcase. They can just linger there. It's not a prop that they have.
That they have to have.
Right? Yeah.
Because Jesus Christ, imagine if the winner of the Royal Rumble had to carry around a fucking contract saying, I won the Rumble.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sitting on the edge of my seat for this one because I didn't know.
That was a good match. Yeah, that was good.
I enjoyed this whole pay-per-view. Well, I don't want to say whole, but from what we watched, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I do love that title a lot. That's so nice.
It's a great belt. It really is.
See, right now, that guy should just boom.
Yep. That was good. That was a good show. And it keeps MJF strong.
I think so.
Because he had to use the move he wasn't supposed to use to beat him.
You know what? Now you go into a triple threat match with the Murder Hawk, him, MJF. You get MJF over in that match.
And you have Archer beat Moxley. He doesn't beat MJF, so you still keep MJF looking good.
I would go that route because now you're gonna put MJF in there with a monster and the champion. You're really gonna build 3 guys up. I think that would be a good idea. And you've not done anything more than a singles match.
Yeah. Yep.
So that would be your first triple threat title match right there.
Yep.
Then you're gonna ban Jake Roberts from ringside. You're gonna ban Wardlow from ringside, and Moxley's the guy by himself, anyways.
Right.
So that brings us pretty much right
like you said. What we watched, that was a good show.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, no, I enjoyed that. Completely, I enjoyed that.
But I will get you the whole show so you can watch the whole thing. But.
And like I said, anybody that's following us or watching us right now, we will be watching the Jericho, Orange Cassidy, Mimosa Mayhem match on the very next episode of the Comic Shop, which will be, again, the Spaceballs.
Spaceballs, the podcast. May the Schwartz be with you.
That'll be a pretty fun one. I have nothing to set out, just to let you know. Spaceballs.
Right. I don't either, actually. Because they haven't done Pops because he signed that deal with Lucas that he would never make merchandise. So I don't know if they're honoring that still or. Yeah. So.
With George Lucas?
Yeah, because it was parodying Star Wars. He wanted to get permission because it was so close to Darth Vader with the dark helmet.
So the agreement was you can parody us, you just can't try to make money off of the likeness other than the movie.
Yeah. Yep.
That sucks because they would have perfect product placement when Dark Helmet's playing with his toys.
Yeah. But that's why
I told you not to bother me when I'm in here alone.
And that's why he did the jokes about Spaceballs, the T-shirt and stuff. You know, they did the merchandising joke.
Maybe
they did it as a joke, but they didn't actually make merchandise. So
maybe we'll have Spaceballs, the shirt, ourselves. Maybe we come up with some kind of cool idea for that.
In what? I don't know, 2 or 3 days.
I don't know. We'll think about it. Just ideas we'd like to throw at each other. Okay, why not?
Yeah.
Conversation.
This has been a good one.
I like the AEW. I mean, I'm always gonna love AEW.
Right.
So, yeah.
On that note,
you're the host.
I'm Deadly Dave. This is the champion of the podcast.
I am the champion of the podcast. I am the wild card Ace Williams.
This has been the Wrestling Ring. Thank you so much for checking us out, all of you that actually do.
Yeah!